German side,
Oh,
American side.
wow.
This is what happens when you're short a volunteer. You ready? OB Vest gave the order to start Unternehmen Herbstnabel on 16 December. The objective of the attack is the encirclement of the 21st English Army Group and the 9th and 1st American Armies by a quick assault on Antwerp, and to destroy them in cooperation with our forces attacking south from Holland. The prerequisite for the success of this operation is to surprise the enemy, which requires secrecy, speed, mobility. Forward without looking right or left across the mirrors towards Antwerp. Ruthless and rapid penetration. Corps infantry will break through the enemy front line by 0700 hours. The decision to commit the panzer divisions to exploit the breakthrough will be decided by the commanders of the 6th Panzer Army and Heer's Group of B as the attack develops. 12th SS will advance along Rollbahn Anton, Bertha, and Caesar. 1st SS will advance along Rollbahn Dora and Immel. The Meuse River will be reached in 1 to 2 days and establish bridgeheads. The 6th Panzer Army's 2 bridging columns will follow the corps. After the panzer divisions pass through the breach, the infantry will follow up and turn north to form a defensive front, protecting the corps' right flank. 2nd SS Panzer Corps will pass through and drive to Antwerp in another 5 days. 277 Volksgrenadier Division objectives open Rollbahn Anton, Bertha, and Caesar. 12 Volksgrenadier Division objectives open Rollbahn Dora. Division engineers are to replace the Scheid Railroad Bridge and the one north of Losheim, destroyed by our forces in September. 3rd Fallschirmjäger Division objectives open Rollbahn Immel. After 1st and 12th SS Panzer Divisions pass through the breach, 3rd Fallschirmjäger Division, 277 Volksgrenadier, and 12th Volksgrenadier will turn north and defend the corps flank, tying in with 67th Army Corps. 1st SS Panzer Division assembly areas are around Blankenheim. 12th SS assembly areas are east of Hollenthal. Each division organized into a Panzer Group, 2 Kampfgruppen, a Schnellgruppe, and divisional troops. The attack plan specified 4 fuel consumption units with the troops and 1 additional delivered each day. Since 2 train loads have not arrived, 1st SS Panzer Corps has half a consumption unit, good for 30 to 35 kilometers in the Ardennes terrain, on hand. 6th Panzer Army transferred 2nd SS Panzer Corps' fuel to me, increasing fuel on hand to 1.3 units, good for 60 to 70 kilometers. There are 10 fuel units in dumps east of the Rhine River, but the number of trains and trucks available cannot deliver it. To make up for the shortage, information on known enemy fuel dumps was issued. The Corps has 1 ammunition unit, good for 4 to 5 days instead of the 2 planned. Again, it is in dumps east of the Rhine. A single, inexperienced enemy infantry division and 2 reconnaissance battalions occupy the enemy front line. The entrance to Rollbahn, Anton, and Bertha is the winding Schwarzenbrock gravel-covered logging trail from the International Highway west of Hollenroth to Rocheroth. Rollbahn Caesar, west of Udenbrecht to Murigen, is the same. Rollbahn Dora and Immel have decent roads to start with. Since my request to Army to shift the Corps attack sector south, the better terrain is denied. I asked for a release of the Panzer Division to achieve breakthrough, but this is also denied. From 3 to 14 December, the RAF attacked the Schreimanuel, Erft, and Pollesdorf dams on the Rohr River 7 times. 3 missions were canceled because of weather and heavy cloud cover, limiting bombing to H-2S radar. 886 aircraft dropped 1,862 tons of bombs, retorting just 21 ineffective hits. 5th Corps is ordered to capture the dams so the 9th Army to the north can cross the Rohr River without being caught in floods caused by the Germans releasing water. 2nd Infantry Division stepped off in 6 inches of snow with the temperature warming. 99th Infantry Division, 2nd Battalion of 395th, 1st Battalion of 395th, and 2nd Battalion of 393rd attacked parallel on their right. The advance reached the Wallerscheid crossroads where German bunkers stopped the advance. After dark, the leading elements pulled back slightly and dug in. 9th Infantry Regiment infiltrated the German position and captured the bunker line. 2 artillery corps, 2 rocket brigades, and all the divisional artillery started the barrage aimed at knocking out enemy communications. Temperatures were about freezing. Ground fog limited visibility, and there were occasional snow flurries. The ground is thick, sticky mud. In the 277 Volksgrenadier Division sector, the 998th Grenadier Regiment's single battalion, reinforced with an engineer company and Jagdpanzers, attacked along the Schwarzenbruck Trail, got 2 kilometers of the 7 kilometers to Rocheroth before being stopped. 990th Grenadier Regiment, reinforced with a Fusilier Company, Engineer Company, and 4 Jagdpanzers, attacked from Udenbrecht-Neuhof area towards Murigen, pushed the enemy 300 meters before being stopped. 991st Grenadier Regiment was sent in to get the attack on Murigen moving without result. The thick forest made coordination of both squad difficult, and fighting degenerated into a brawl. Artillery fire on both sides was indiscriminately inflicting casualties. After dawn, the snow changed to sleet and rain. The 395th Infantry and 2nd Battalion of the 393rd Attack was held up until the 2nd Infantry Division came abreast and prepared to push to Objective Baker. The enemy shelled the 393rd and 391st Infantry in the Hoffen sector, followed by strong offensive action, achieving slight penetrations on the right flank of the 393rd Infantry. A strong enemy force hit the left flank of the 3rd of the 393rd Infantry and made slight gains. The infantry in the Hoffen area was repulsed. 3rd Battalion of the 394th beat off an enemy attack. Company A of the 393rd Infantry attacked and restored positions on the right of the 393rd. 99th Reconnaissance Troop reported no enemy to their front. 6th Panzer Army authorized the use of the Panzer Divisions to achieve breakthrough. I attached 1st Battalion of the 25th SS Panzergrenadier Regiment, reinforced with Pack, Pioneer, Flak, and heavy infantry guns, to the 277th Volksreiter Division to enlarge the breach along Rollbahn, Anton, and Bertha. The unit advanced along the Schwarzenbach Trail without the Pack and heavy infantry guns, since the ramps over the west wall obstacles were not in place. Towed weapons and vehicles were quickly stuck in the mud. The battalion got within 2,000 meters of Krinkelt, encountering only small numbers of the enemy, but was under heavy artillery fire. The battalion went over the defense, since it still had no contact with the 277th Volksgrenadier. The 12th Volksgrenadier Division attack failed to take Losheimgraben and Buchholz. More importantly, the Scheid Railroad Bridge has not been replaced. 3rd Fallschirmjäger Division took all objectives by dusk, opening in Rollbahn-Immel. I ordered Panzer Group Piper sitting in Losheim to head for Lajernath, bypassing Losheimgraben, and get back on Rollbahn-Dor at Bulligen. There are 4 options to open Rollbahn-Caesar for Panzer Group Kuhlmann. One is the 277th continue to attack Rocheroth. Second, 277th continue to attack Murigen. Third, 277th attacks Rocheroth, while 12th attacks north to Hunningen. Fourth, send the 12th SS to Losheimgraben. The third option was the most promising. Contact was lost with Task Force 10, 14th Cavalry Group in the vicinity of Lazareth. Company B of the 394th was attacked, and the enemy made a slight penetration. 2nd Battalion of 395th Infantry captured the last pillboxes in the Wallerscheid area. The command post, 3rd Battalion, 393rd, was attacked. Company I, 394th Infantry, was attached to the 393rd Infantry and was committed to restore the position. General Robertson and Hines of the 2nd Infantry Division visited my command post. I told them my frontline units had been attacked, but the situation seemed well in hand. Later, reports showed the situation to be much more serious, so I requested 5th Corps release 2 infantry battalions from the 2nd Infantry Division to me. About 2,400 hours, 5th Corps called and reported all my front line. About 2,400 hours, 5th Corps called, and I reported all my frontline units had reported in. My entire front was practically reestablished on its original line. The situation was well in hand and all quiet, but my right flank had me considerably worried. 277th Volksgrenadier Division moved 990th Grenadier Regiment up behind the 989th to reinforce the attack. 277th casualties were heavy, including 9 of the 12 assault company commanders. To reinforce the division, I attached the rest of Kampf Group Mueller from the 12th SS. 1st Battalion of the 25th SS Panzergrenadier Regiment had not been able to establish contact with 277th Volksgrenadier Division, and with the enemy probing the unit's open flanks during the night, the battalion withdrew from contact. The 12th Volksgrenadier Division resumed the attack on Losheimgraben. 2nd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzergrenadier Regiment, with Jagdpanzer IV and Pioneer attached, attacked west along the logging trail from Udenbrecht. The 560th Schwer Panzerjäger Abteilung, carrying the 3rd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzergrenadier Regiment, moved in behind the 989th Grenadier Regiment to reinforce the attack. but the muddy terrain made maneuver impossible, so the 560th and Grenadiers were withdrawn. 1st SS Panzer Division has reached Honsfeld, well behind enemy lines, and is moving on Bulge. Heavy enemy artillery fire was continuous throughout the night. The attached 254th Engineer Battalion was given the mission of defending the roads south and southwest of Bulge. The enemy attacked with tanks, followed by armored infantry from the vicinity of Honsfeld, and in front of 393rd and 394th Infantry, with the apparent objectives of Krinkelt and Bulge. Paratroopers are reported to have dropped around tank destroyer positions in the vicinity of Honsfeld. One company of the 612th Tank Destroyer Battalion from the 2nd Division was ordered into position on the roads southeast of Bulge. The 254th Engineer Battalion south and southeast of Bulge was attacked by infantry and armor. At the same time, the enemy had penetrated elements of the 394th Infantry and the 801st Tank Destroyer Battalion in the vicinity of Honsfeld. Enemy tanks and armored infantry entered Bulge, and the 254th Engineer withdrew to defend the west end of town. 99th Division Command Post became operational at Camp Elsenborn. The 395th Infantry, with 2nd Battalion of 393rd Infantry attached, was ordered to establish a defensive position northeast to the right of the 324th Engineer Battalion and astride the road. Company C of the 394th Infantry was bombed and strafed by Me-109s. 32 U.S. fighter bombers strafed enemy infantry and tanks in the vicinity of Bulge and diverted the enemy advance south of the town. 2nd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzergrenadier Regiment was pushed through the enemy position in the woods. 12th Volksgrenadier Division took Loschheimgraben, but the railroad bridge to Loschheim has not been replaced, so the road is not usable. Panzer Group LSSAH has reached Lignaville. The attacked 26th Infantry Regiment from 1st Division relieved the 254th Engineer Battalion in the vicinity of Dom-Buchenbach. Elements of the 324th Engineer Battalion moved into defensive position to protect 3rd Battalion of 393rd Infantry's north or left flank. Company B, the 394th Infantry's right flank, was attacked and pushed back. 3rd Battalion of the 23rd Infantry from the 2nd Infantry Division, with one company of the 741st Tank Battalion, was attached to the 393rd Infantry. 1st Battalion of the 23rd Infantry, with one tank company and one company of the 612th Tank Destroyer Battalion, was attached to the 394th Infantry and ordered to occupy positions in the vicinity of Murigan. The 324th Engineer was attached to the 393rd Infantry. 99th Reconnaissance Troops reported no sign of the enemy. Company C, the 801st Tank Destroyer Battalion, moved into position south and southeast of Bulge. Division artillery fired 3,314 rounds in 193 missions. Once the 2nd Infantry Division elements have established defensive positions at Versfeld, Krinkelt, and Rocheroth, the 99th Infantry Division south of Krinkelt will withdraw north and dig in on Elsenborn Ridge. With only 2 roads available, the speed the 99th can move is limited. Ground fog limits visibility to 100 meters. The 2nd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzergrenadier Regiment advanced ran into a second enemy position in the woods. The initial attack failed, and the Grenadiers start to flank north. Jagdpanzers arrive, start firing at the enemy positions, making them break and run, and blowing snow with the battalion exiting the woods at Rupenven. In the dark, the lead 4 Jagdpanzers, the 1st Company of the 12th SS Panzergrenadier Abteilung, with Grenadiers go left, but the following elements of the 1st Company go right. 12th Volksgrenadier, which is Sturmgeschütz, attack the enemy south and southeast of Hunningen. 1st SS Panzer Division is marching on Stavlo. 26th Infantry Regiment reported they were in position south and east of Buchenbach and felt confident with the anti-tank weapons in their vicinity that they could hold their positions. They made contact with the 2nd Infantry Division's right flank. Half-tracks and tanks entered the village of Murigan from the southeast and were repulsed. Elements of the 12th SS entered Rocheroth. One element reached the church and the other withdrew after a sharp fight. 3rd Battalion of 395th Infantry in the Hoffen area received artillery fire. The enemy infiltration was stopped by artillery and mortar fire. The 399th Infantry, less the 3rd Battalion, was in defensive positions as planned and had maintained contact with the 393rd Infantry. 393rd Infantry reported that German troops were wearing U.S. and British uniforms, using some U.S. vehicles with White Star insignia. A flash warning message was received. tanks moving from southwest on positions of 393rd Infantry. A straggler line for the divisions established running generally along the Elsenborn-Butkenbach Road. Division artillery had fired 3,139 rounds in 54 missions. The 372nd Field Artillery Battalion displaced to Elsenborn at 0300 hours, and the 370th Field Artillery followed at 2400 hours. 1st SS Panzer Division is outside of Stablo and well on the way to the Meuse. 12th SS must get through the enemy front line. The westward routes from Hollenrath-Udenrath area are mud trails. The only decent roads are well east of the fighting. 990th Grenadier Regiment, the 277th Volksgrenadier Division, will attack west across the Rocherath-Wallerscheid Road to protect 12th SS north flank. 12th SS Panzer Regiment with 2nd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzergrenadier Regiment will attack the east edge of Rocherath. 1st and 3rd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzergrenadier Regiment with 12th SS Panzerjägerabteilung will attack the south side of Rocherath. 12th SS Panzeraufklärungsabteilung will attack Krinkelt from the south. The rest of Panzer Group Kuhlmann and Kampf Group of Kraus will remain in march formation on Rollbahn C, prepared to advance as soon as Hunningen and Murrigan are cleared. The 12th SS final objective is Elsenborn. 12th Volksgrenadier will take Hunningen, Murrigan, and advance toward Bulligen, Bertzfield, and Butkenbach. 3rd Fallschirmjäger will advance to Fahmenville. 395th Infantry astride the roads leading in Rocherath repulsed an enemy attack with mortar and artillery fire. Simultaneously, tanks were reported to be attacking units on the right. 3rd Battalion of the 25th Infantry lost contact with the 393rd Infantry. 3rd Battalion of 395th at Hoffen was attacked by enemy armor and infantry, supported by artillery and mortar fire. Artillery and mortar repulsed the attack. Dense fog blanketed the area. 277 Volksgrenadier and 12th SS Panzer Regiment arrived at Ruppenvin. The Jagdpanzers and Grenadiers around the Rocherath Church, out of radio contact, short on ammo and fuel, withdrew to a more defensive position 300 meters east of the town after dawn. They waved at the advancing panzers to identify themselves, then withdrew to the forest to avoid being caught in the attack, resupply, and rest. 3rd Battalion of 395th Infantry received heavy rocket fire with increasing infantry pressure and was attacked by tanks. Slight penetrations were made in the center of their position. The 324th Engineer Battalion started to withdraw to Elsenborn. 3rd Battalion of 395th drove off an attack. 12th SS Panzer Regiment entered Rocherath and reached the Bertzfield Road intersection. 1st and 2nd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzergrenadier Regiment got into the edge of the town. Enemy artillery fire pinned down the 3rd Battalion in the forest. 12th Volksgrenadier took Hunningen, found Murrigan empty, occupied Bulligen, then stopped, fearing an exposed open flank facing the twin villages. 3rd Fallschirmjäger Division was north of Heppenbach. Leibstand Adolf Hitler has reached Stomat. 99th Reconnaissance Troop lost contact with the 2nd Division Reconnaissance Troop, who had withdrawn west. The 26th Regiment at Butkenbach reverted to 1st Infantry Division control. The enemy attacked the 393rd Infantry east of Rocherath with 9 tanks. The 393rd reported destroying 7 tanks and repulsing an infantry attack. Identified the enemy as 12th SS. Pressure was being exerted along the front, but they were holding their positions. Division artillery reported all liaison planes except one escaped being overrun. 99th Infantry Division was attached to the 2nd Infantry Division for the defense of Krinkelt, Bertzfield sector. 99th Reconnaissance Troops reported armored forces approaching 3rd Battalion, 395th Infantry, and the Hoffen area was still being attacked. 394th Infantry, with attached 1st Battalion of the 23rd Infantry, was ordered to withdraw to Elsenborn. 3rd Battalion of 395th Infantry in the Hoffen area repulsed an infantry and tank attack. The division's 372nd, 924th, 371st, and 776th Field Artillery Battalions arrived at Camp Elsenborn area during the night. Artillery still fired 2,040 rounds in 41 missions. 12th SS Panzer Regiment and 25th SS Panzergrenadier hold about half of Rocherath. The main body of 12th SS, struggling along the roads, 1st SS uses turned into a sea of mud, reached Bulligen after dusk. 3rd Battalion of 393rd Infantry withdrew to Elsenborn. 1st Battalion of 393rd Infantry then withdrew. 394th Infantry arrived in the Elsenborn area. Enemy armor and infantry attacked the Hoffen area from the direction of Rouen and was repulsed by 0820 hours. 2nd Battalion of 393rd Infantry lost contact with the 393rd Infantry on its left and was reported holding its position. Coordination with the 2nd Infantry Division on our right and the 9th Infantry Division on our left was affected. Company D, 86 Chemical Mortar Battalion withdrew to Elsenborn and was attached to the 394th Infantry. 1st Battalion of 395th Infantry had completed its withdrawal. 2nd Battalion of 395th Infantry and 2nd Battalion of 393rd Infantry were both withdrawing. The division fired 7,719 rounds in 64 missions. Time on target missions were especially effective in stopping the Germans. Enemy artillery was impressive and terrifying. The artillery stopped the main part of the 25th SS Panzergrenadier Regiment from getting into twin villages to support the Panzers on the 18th, causing the attack to fail. In addition to the tanks totally destroyed, many were disabled, requiring recovery and repair at the 12th SS Panzer Division Repair Center set up at Loschangraben. The Corps will be on the Meuse River instead. The Corps should be on the Meuse River instead of a few kilometers from the 16 December front line. This concludes the presentation. Questions? Next week's presentation will be the Battle of Wingensu-Motor, which is actually well south of the Ardennes area. It was the last German attack, though nowhere on the scale of the Ardennes.